Hello everybody. In this video I'll be going over the Linux operating system and the many things that it can do that Windows can't. I like to start off with what you would call the taskbar in Windows. In Linux it's called a panel, and you can increase and decrease the height of it. I wouldn't suggest anything over 80 pixels for the height, and it can go down to a minimum of 20 pixels, but I usually keep it at 50, so I'll put it back at 50. And all these items that you see on the panel are individual and can moved around on the panel. Say you wanted your time in the center. On Windows you couldn't do that, but in Linux you can. But I'm going to put the time back on the right because that's where I usually keep it. The next thing I want to talk about is widgets. In Windows, I would say they're pretty much useless. It's just a page of widgets, and you can't even put them on the desktop, which, at least in my opinion, is the whole point of widgets in the first place. Without that feature, there's no point of them at all. But on Linux, you can put them on the desktop. Say you wanted a media player on the desktop to play and switch between songs on Spotify. As you can see, the title's messed up right now. If you skip, of course it's an ad. By the way, as I was saying before that stupid ad, if you just skip, the title should be fixed, and it's only when you first open Spotify that should happen. After you skip, it should be fine. And it has the time, and you can just click to skip ahead or behind. And also it has previous and next buttons to switch between songs. And just in case if you were wondering, it does play the songs in order. I have shuffle off, so they will play according to the order I have them in the playlist. As you can see on my playlist, the next two songs are Witch Hunt and Vital Signs, so those should play next, and they do. But it's about time we moved on to a new widget, and this one is about time, because it's a digital clock. Anyway, you can put it on the desktop, resize it to whatever size you want, and put it pretty much anywhere you want. I'll just put it top center. I'll try the bottom center now. It may not go well with brighter wallpapers like this one, and because of that you may want to have a slightly darker wallpaper. But anyway, moving on. I forgot to mention this earlier, but you can put a media player on the panel as well. And it has skip buttons, and you can click on it to bring up the time. Next thing I want to talk about is styles, or plasma styles. And they can change the look and feel of your desktop, increasing or decreasing the transparency of panels or the start menu, and also changing the icons of the system tray. And with these styles, you can even make your desktop look like Windows XP if you want to make it look ugly. It's truly an experience. A bad experience. Wow, look at that start menu. Those are some of the design choices of all time. Anyway, I think that's all the hating we'll be doing on Windows XP. And now, I'll just go through some of the other styles. And now, I'll just go through some wallpapers and give you a rough idea of what each style will look like. The next thing I want to talk about is the clipboard. You can save up to 1,000 entries. You can also save your clipboard history across desktop sessions, which means even when you shut down your computer and turn it back on, you'll still have those clipboard entries. And one of the best things that the clipboard can do is generate a QR code. Now, sadly, it won't work for files. It'll just show the file location. But anyway, here's a QR code to a video. You can pause and scan it with your phone. I should have mentioned this earlier, but you can change the strength of the blur effect on the panel and start menu. So I'm just gonna turn it up all the way, and as you can see, it's much more blurry than it was before. Now I'm just gonna turn it all the way down. It'll still be a slight blur effect. You have to completely turn the blur effect off for there to be no blur effect. And now the only thing that's left is the opacity from the current plasma style. You can also change the noise amount, which gives it a sort of textured look. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you have any questions or comments about Linux or the video, then post them down below. I hope you have a good day, and goodbye.